Okay. Welcome in everybody. We are going to be continuing today. We're going to be continuing our coverage of civil war place within the Texas City Police Department. Okay, we're going to be continuing our coverage of the civil war that's taking place within the Texas City Police Department. As you all know, there are calls for Chief Landis Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson to step down. And there are also calls for Mayor Dedrick Johnson to fire them. Okay. Now, the TMPA, the Texas Municipal Police Association, conducted a survey of the officers within the Texas City Police Department. And they basically conducted a survey about how, they conducted a survey that intention was to find out how the Texas City Police Department as a whole felt about the leadership of this current administration within the Texas City Police Department. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to show you guys that survey. Some of you have heard about it, but perhaps you've never seen it. So I'm going to show you guys that survey, and we're going to go over the questions, and you're going to see for yourself what the Texas City Police Department had to say the current administration that's running the police department, just so you guys can have some more information. Now, the first place that we're going to start in this video is what you're seeing on your screen. Now, this is video footage from the City Commission meeting that was held on August 7th, 2024. Now, at this particular meeting, representatives of the TMPA, the Texas Municipal Police Association, stood up and presented their grievances, or the grievances of the officers that they represent. They presented those grievances to not only the mayor and our city commissioners, but also to the citizens of Texas City as a whole. Now, why I'm bringing this up in this conversation about the survey is because you're going to see that one of the representatives of actually of the survey with him, and he attempts to pass out those surveys to the mayor and the city commissioners. But the mayor Dedrick Johnson, you're going to see, tells him that he can keep the surveys. So without further ado, we're going to play the clip where this survey is brought up. We're going to talk about the response of our city officials, and then we're going to take the survey, and you're going to be able to base your own opinion, formulate your own opinion and ideas based on the information that you're going to see.
So, next on the request to address the commission. Guarnier. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. You can introduce yourself for the record. TMPA Management Survey.
Real quick, before the guy gets up to the podium to speak, if you see on the first row that's facing the mayor and our city commissioners, all the way to the left-hand side, you see a bald African-American gentleman wearing a white shirt. That's Chief Landis Cravens, okay? Just to let you guys know that he was in the building. So let's continue with the video.
South Louisiana. Do y'all mind if I hand this out, or does that go on my time?
No, you can set it right there. We'll
say right here.
Is it something we need to have while you're discussing it?
It's the management survey.
Just
as long as y'all get a copy.
No, you can keep it.
Keep it?
Yeah,
okay.
You can keep
it. Right, no problem.
Okay, so that management survey that he was attempting to hand them is the survey that we're going to be looking. I'm going to play this one more time.
Do y'all mind if I hand this out, or does that go on my time?
No, you can set it right there.
Say right here.
Is it something we need to have while you're discussing it?
It's the management survey.
You
Just
can-
as long
you
as y'all get a copy.
No, you can keep it.
Keep it?
Yeah,
Okay,
you can keep
all right, no problem. Good evening, everyone.
Okay. Now, real quick. Now we don't know why the mayor said that he can keep the survey. We don't know why the mayor didn't want a copy of the survey. We can speculate on that, but let's not do any speculation. It's possible that the mayor just didn't want to read it. He wasn't interested in the information that it contained. Perhaps he already had a copy of that information. Perhaps he had already read through it. Perhaps he had already been briefed on it. You know, maybe he didn't want it because he already knew what it contained. And maybe he didn't want it because he wasn't interested in the information that it contained. Perhaps at a later date, our mayor will explain why exactly he didn't want that survey. But the question, the survey that's in question, we're going to take a look at it. So the TMPA posted this on their Facebook page. They posted a link to the survey, and that link is what we're going to be looking at. So you see the cover page of this. It says TMPA raises concerns over leadership failures in Texas City. TMPA statement and Texas City Police Department management survey. Okay. It says the Texas Municipal Police Association is sounding the alarm over severe leadership issues in Texas City, pointing to retaliatory actions and hostile behavior by Mayor Dedrick Johnson and Police Chief Landis Cravens, which threaten both the integrity and functionality of law enforcement there. So we see right off the bat that I guess because of how Mayor Dedrick Johnson has been handling this issue up until this point, the TMPA is now linking the mayor in with the leadership issues and the retaliatory actions and the hostile behavior. It says a recent TMPA management survey completed by the majority of the Texas City Police Department's rank and file revealed significant leadership failures by Chief Cravens, showing a disconnect between administration and officer needs. Despite multiple attempts at dialogue, both Mayor Johnson and Chief Cravens have ignored these findings, showing a disturbing lack of transparency. Now, why the TMPA decided to present this at the city is because it was Galveston County Daily News that it was a handful who were complaining about Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson. And that small group that was complaining were only complaining because the subject internal affairs investigation. So the county that PA came to present the survey to the public, where they can see that it was not a small group, it was actually the majority of the Texas City Police Department officers who were making these complaints. Okay, they say particularly concerning is the misallocation under Chief Cravens, which targets and members of the Texas City Municipal Police Association with unnecessary investigations conducted by a personal associate. This taxpayer money not only undermines the ethical standards expected of a department leader, but also erodes public trust. Adding insult to injury, Mayor Johnson has now resorted to disclosing sensitive internal information to manipulate public perception, further showcasing the dismissal state of leadership at the highest levels in Texas City. It's unconscionable when members of an agency are retaliated on by the very leadership it was expressing concerns about. The facts are that multiple attempts were made to meet with the chief and mayor. The chief refused, and the mayor ignored the request, hiding, manipulating facts, and retaliation are not leadership traits the citizens of Texas City should tolerate. TMPA stands with our members and calls for immediate action to address these pressing issues and restore trust and integrity in the offices of the police chief and mayor. Now, this is why every individual in Texas City, every citizen should be following these events very closely. These are serious allegations made against the top positions in our city. This issue, and this issue that they're talking about, and what will happen in light of this issue will directly affect every citizen of Texas City, which is why I'm doing everything that I can to keep you guys informed. So let's get to the survey. Okay, let's get to the survey. The first question is, what service do you have with the Texas City Police Department? So we see that 32% had 0 to 5 years, 22% had 5 to 10 years, 14.93% to 15 years, so on and so forth. You can see the graph on your screen. So there are new officers, and there are officers that have been here for an extremely long time. So this survey that they are taking encompasses the answers and opinions of a lot of different officers. We can see from this first question that 67 total officers answered this particular survey question. So we see that, of course, that's not a small number. I believe that the Texas City Police Department has around 90 officers, 100 officers, something like that. I don't know the exact number, but I do know that 67 is very, very high. It's over half of the officers for sure. Okay, so let's get into these questions, and we're just going to go through them. We're not going to spend too much time on them. There's a lot of questions, and I just want you to see it for yourself. So this particular question 2, 67 officers again answered. So we're talking about 67 officers. So the question is, if the department continues as is, I would be content to finish my career at the Texas City Police Department. Now, you see the orange section of the pie chart that strongly disagree. So these people are saying if the department continues as is, they would not be content to finish their career at the Texas City Police Department. So that was 52.24% of the 67 officers questioned said that if the department continues as is, they would not be content to finish their career at the Texas City Police. That's over half of the officers that were questioned. And so we see that we have some officers did just disagree. They didn't strongly disagree, but even that disagreement, that the light blue section of the pie chart, the 23.88%, they are also saying that if the department continues as is, they would not be finished their career at the Texas City. So disagree and the agree are basically side of the coin. Okay, and if we just round those numbers up, 4 and 50, looking at 76% would not want to finish their career at the Texas City Police Department if it continues as. Let's continue. Question 3. Recommend the Texas Police Department to others as a place to work. 55.22% of the officers surveyed disagree, meaning they would not recommend department to others as a good place to work. They do not view their department as a good place to work. They would not encourage anyone in law enforcement who was looking to change departments or anyone who was looking to begin a career in law enforcement to come to the Texas City Police Department. And even the ones that disagreed, the light blue section of the pie chart, 22.39% disagreed. So remember, the disagree and the strongly disagree are in the same boat. They're saying that they would not recommend the Texas City Police Department to others as a good place to work. And again, if we just round those numbers up and we use the number of 22% and 55%, we're saying that 77% of the Texas City police officers who were given this question in the anonymous survey, 77% are saying that they would not recommend the Texas City Police Department to others as a good place to work. So is the Texas City Police Department a good place to work? According to this survey, you be the judge. Now, I'm a highly opinionated individual. If you know me in my personal life and you were to, speak to me, candidly, I would definitely give you my opinion. But I'm trying this new approach of being unbiased when I give the information. So I hope you guys appreciate that and don't hold it against me for not going into my personal opinions. I want you to just make the decision on your own based on the information that you're seeing. Now look at this. Question 4. I have no fear of retaliation from the administration of the Texas City Police Department for expressing my opinion about any issue or of concern. So this is about fear of retaliation from the administration. Fear of retaliation. 713 strongly disagree, meaning that they fear retaliation. And another 8.9% fear retaliation as well. So if we take 9%, round it up, and we take 73%, we get what? 82%. 82%. 67 who questioned fear retaliation from the administration of the Texas City Police Department for expressing their opinion about any issues of concerns. Now that should also be concerning to the regular citizen, because if they will retaliate on other police officers, what would they do to a citizen that speaks up? A retaliatory disposition is a retaliatory disposition, no matter how you slice the cake. Okay, and so that's like a total of what, when you look it up, is what? That's 55 of the 67 officers. 55 of them fear retaliation. Let's move forward. I enjoy my current assignment. Okay, you guys can look at that chart, but whether or not they enjoy their current assignment, that doesn't hold too much weight with the citizen. Okay, everyone, regardless of rank, is held accountable for their actions. We're talking about accountability. Why is accountability important? Because we're talking about accountability and transparency. And there was a direct quote in the Galveston County Daily News where Mayor Dedrick Johnson said that Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson was trying to restore accountability and integrity to the Texas City Police Department. So let's see how the Texas City Police Department officers view accountability. So again, question 6, everyone, regardless of rank, is held accountable for their actions. 61.19% strongly disagree, and 16.42% disagree. So what are we saying? We're saying that 77% of the officers questioned do not believe that regardless of rank, everyone is held accountable for their actions. So there are people, 77% of these officers are telling us that certain people with certain rank are not held accountable for their actions like other individuals are held accountable for their actions. Another 52 officers is questioning the idea of equal accountability within the department. Question 7, work-related stress has decreased in the last 2 years. So in the last 2 years, stress has gone up, or it has at least not decreased. We have 61.19% strongly disagree, and we have 11.94% just regular disagree. So again, we're looking at 73% of the officers questioned saying that work-related stress has not decreased in the last 2 years. Question 8. The Texas City Police Department is a better place to work than it was 2 years ago. Look at this. 68.66% strongly disagree. 8.96%. So again, up to 9% and 69%. We're looking at what? 79% or 76%. 77, somewhere easy. They do not believe that the department is a better place to work than it was 2 years ago. 52 of the officers do not believe this department is a better than it was 2 years ago. Now, for the citizens of Tech City, this is our police department. It's like they're crying out for help. The current workplace climate of the Texas City Police Department inspires me to excel as an employee. So the workplace climate of the TCPD, does it inspire the officers, our officers who put their lives on the line for us daily? Does it inspire them to excel as employees and be the best officers that they can be? 53.73% strongly disagree, 26.87% disagree. Do you see these numbers? Look at that pie chart. The strongly disagree and the disagree dominate this pie chart. So the current workplace climate is not inspiring the Texas City Police Department officers to excel as employees. So what is it doing? Is it inspiring them not to excel? Have they become lackluster and mediocre in their job performance because within the TCP? Or, and just to be unbiased and unfair, are they lying survey simply to attack Chief Cravens and Manuel Johnson? We have to ask that question because the mayor said that they're disgruntled. He says he backs Chief Cravens 100%. That is our dilemma. Are these officers lying? That's the question. And if they're not lying, look at the pie chart. Question 10. My morale has improved over the past 10 years. 64.18% disagree. 10.45% disagree. 64.18% strongly disagree. 10.45% disagree. You see that? 50 officers out of the 67, their morale has not improved over the past 2 years. So we have issues. survey is correct. We have accountability issues. We have a morale issue. We have a lack of desire to excel as an employee. This is our police department. And remember, these are the police who respond to your calls. When someone is breaking into your home in the middle of the night and you dial at 911 and an officer responds, want an officer to respond that has high morale or low morale? Do you want an officer to respond who wants to excel at his job as a police officer, or one who does not want to excel? Which one would you like? When your child goes missing and you call the police, who do you want to give that report to? What type of officer do you want to give that report to? When your loved one has been harmed or, God forbid, murdered, who do you want to? When your car has been stolen, who do you want? When your property has been burglarized, who do you want? When your property has been vandalized, who do you want to respond? Question 11. My morale is high. Let's get straight to it. How many of these officers has high morale? And if they don't have high morale, they have morale. This is a black and white question. 56.2% disagree. 40% disagree. 51 officers out of this 67 have low morale. Now, do they really have low morale because of Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson, or is this a plot? Is this a conspiracy? Did they all meet in a smoke-filled room to lie on Chief Cravens and Manuel Johnson? We have to ask the unbiased question. Did they all meet in a smoke-filled room to lie? Or is morale within the Texas City Police Department really this low? Mayor Johnson, are they lying? Question 12. The overall morale at the Texas City Police Department has improved since Chief Cravens became chief. We heard that Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson are trying to restore accountability and integrity. And for the sake of me giving non-biased information, I'm not saying whether that's true or not. Don't attack me. I'm just trying to keep you guys informed. Don't attack me. Now, I'm very opinionated. I will 100% give you my opinion if you ask for it. But in this respect, I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm telling you what both sides are saying. Now, the overall morale at the Texas City Police Department, has it improved? 70.15% strongly disagree. That's probably the highest strongly disagree we've seen. 11.94 disagree. That's 82%. 82%. 82% disagree that the overall morale at the Texas City Police Department has improved since Chief Cravens became chief. Now, I want to say something, because on these surveys, I do see some strongly agrees and some agrees. And now, in case you're wondering why I'm not pointing that out, because I'm trying to show you what the majority of the officers are saying. But those strongly agree and those agree, you need to come out and defend your chief. You need to show your face. Well, this was anonymous, so you don't need to, but it would be good if you came out to defend your chief. And if you came out to defend your assistant chief, and if you support the mayor, you need to come out and defend the mayor. Why are you guys sitting on the sidelines? Why are you afraid to show your face and support these guys, defend these guys? At that city commission meeting, I saw people, and this is being real, I saw people that I thought was like best friends with the mayor, real good friends with the chief. I saw maybe one person stand up in their defense And it just made me wonder, like, wow, no one is willing to defend them in their time of need. Now, anyone that knows me, they know in the past, I have been very critical of the Tech City Police Department, but not the police department, the corruption that I don't like. What I view as corruption, boom, I attack it. I'm very opinionated. Even with the mayor, I supported the mayor in his first campaign. I helped him campaign. We didn't see eye to eye on a few things, and I felt like it was lacking in some accountability. I felt like he was lacking in some transparency. I feel like he didn't go to bat for me and my brother when we were targeted by corrupt cops, and so my entire position on him switched. Okay, but I wonder, where are the people that support him? These strongly agree and disagree. Where are you? Y'all, you guys listen to me good. You guys need to come out and say. You guys need to come out and say something. Anyway, 13, police chief concerned about the morale of his employees. So we see that morale is low. We see that morale has not increased in the past 2 years. We see that they're worried about accountability, that they fear retaliation. They don't want to excel at their job. Now, do these officers believe that Chief Cravens is concerned about this? I'm concerned. I'll tell you one thing. I'm concerned about officers with low morale responding to a phone call that I make in the middle of the night when somebody is trying to break into my home and harm me or my wife or my 3 children. 59.70% strongly disagree. 16.42% disagree. Overwhelmingly, they do not think Police Chief Cravens is concerned. We have to do something about this. And I'm not saying that the chief needs to be fired. I'm not calling for that. The TMPA is calling for that. But I'm saying that something needs to be done about this. These officers are crying out for help. I told you guys, I just don't like corruption. If they are really being mistreated, hey man, if they're really being mistreated, I got their back. If Chief Cravens is being lied on, I got his back. Now, Manuel Johnson, even if he's being lied on, you on your own, buddy. I don't have to stand up for everybody. Just something about you just really rubs me the wrong way. I got to be upfront about that. You on your own. I'm not supporting you. Mayor Dedrick Johnson, if they lying on you and they're attacking you for nothing, come out and prove it. And you'll have the backing of the people. But the people, listen to me good. The people, we must support and back whoever is right. And we must condemn whoever is wrong. It's just that simple. This is about right and wrong, corrupt and just. Tech City Police Chief Cravens is a good manager of employees. All right, you guys can look at this particular pie chart, pause it if you like. I'm really not going to give too much commentary on that. I've had several jobs while I've been in management positions. I've ran multi-million dollar corporations on behalf of others. I didn't own it. I just ran it in a management role, the highest management on site, on location. So I understand some people, you can call them a good manager. They can be a bad manager. That, to me, that's not a topic of corruption. Whether you're a good or bad manager, you may or may not be corrupt. Police Chief Cravens values employee input. Now, this is actually serious. He does need to value employee input, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But you guys can see again, it's almost like every question, strongly disagree and disagree. It dominates the pie chart. Dominates the pie chart. Police Chief Cravens holds command level managers responsible for their actions. Now, this again, because the official statement from the city was that Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson were trying to restore accountability and integrity. So, what do the police do? How do the police feel about that? We know that's what the mayor believes, but what about the Tech City police department employees, the cops, the beat cop, the cop that responds to you in the middle of the night if someone steals your car? How do they feel about the question? Police Chief Cravens holds command level managers responsible for their actions. 53.73% strongly disagree. and 19.40% disagree. Again, high numbers dominating the pie chart. Now, why is this important for the citizen? Irregardless of its importance to the Texas City Police Department and the government structure down at City Hall. Why is this important to the citizen? Because when they're talking about command level managers are the one that issue out the orders to the employees beneath them. Now, if they aren't held responsible for their actions, okay, if there's no repercussions for their actions, if there's no punishment, if there's no accountability, if there's no slap on the wrist, then their behavior can become worse and worse and worse, and they can spiral out of control. Now, listen to me good. Their spiraling out of control will negatively impact the officers beneath them. The officers beneath them will begin to have low morale. They will no longer want to work for the police department, and they will no longer wish to excel at their jobs, which is highlighted by some of the questions we already. And when you get officers on the street with low morale, that do not want to exceed, that do not trust the command level management and administration. And this ultimately can negatively impact the citizens. It's like many of you listening to me, you've never been a cop. So I want to make this more relatable to jobs that you've had or jobs that you're more familiar with interacting with. Let's say you go to a fast food restaurant. What are you doing if those employees that are preparing your food and taking your order do not like their manager or treated bad by the management, the manager, the assistant manager, the shift leaders? How do you think they would have if they have low morale when they wake up in the morning? They don't even want to go to work. They are going to do what? They're going to give you bad service. It is a common thing that when an individual goes to a place to patronize a business and they receive poor service, one of the main things people say is, if you don't like your job, just quit, but don't take it out on me, because we understand people who don't like their job, people who don't like the managers, people who don't want to be employed at the place that they're employed at, people who feel like they are overlooked for promotions that they are due, people that feel like they get in trouble and they get written up for nothing. Their performance tends to get worse because they're human. And our feelings impact our actions. And so police officers are no different. They're human. They have families. They have children that they go home to. They think about what happened at their job after they clock out. Because even after they clock out, they're still a police officer. They still have to worry about that pension, that retirement fund, that check. They have a mortgage. They have a car payment. Their children just went back to school. They have things that they're worried about. They don't want to lose their job over nonsense. They don't want to clock in and go to work somewhere where they feel like they are not appreciated. Their opinion doesn't matter. They aren't listened to. They aren't valued. They aren't, cared about. And this can translate into poor job performance on the street when you do what? When you dial 911 here in Texas City and you try to get an officer to show up when your property has been burglarized. Okay? SHIT rolls downhill. And let's continue. Question 17. Police Chief Cravens is in touch with the needs of my division. Sometimes, the person on top, they can just be so out of touch. It appears that they feel like Cravens is out of touch. which Craven's been around for a long time, and he's only been the police chief for maybe 10 months or so, I believe it is. So he should be able to, tap into his own feelings when he was a beat cop, when he was a regular cop. Yeah, he's had rank for a while, but I'm just saying, but him being in touch, you can pause that. I am fully confident in Chief Craven's ability department. How confident are they in his ability to lead? 54.55% strongly disagree, 13.64 dominate the pie chart. They aren't. Captain M. Johnson is a good manager of the patrol division. And this is crazy. Look at that. Look at that pie chart. Disagree. Look at that pie chart. But again, whether or not you're a good manager, even though I don't care, Manuel Johnson, even though I don't care for him at all, whether or not he's a good manager, it is what it is. But it's important just to see the answer. Captain M. Johnson is concerned about the morale of his division. Now, this Captain Johnson, it appears that this is the assistant chief, Manuel Johnson. I'm not sure why they're calling him captain. Maybe he has two titles, captain and assistant chief. Maybe the captain is the assistant chief. That's not important to me looking at this survey, but that's the Manuel Johnson that we're talking. It's the same Manuel Johnson that has been discussed. Okay, don't get confused because you see captain and not assistant chief. But Captain Manuel Johnson is concerned about the morale of his division. Again, I'm concerned about it as a citizen. Look at now. This is worse than Chief Craven's, if you think about it. 74.63% strongly disagree, 10.45% disagree. Now, one thing I know as being in management for a lot of years, okay, it's several jobs that I've had, you have to be concerned about the morale of the people that's under you. You got to let ego go. You got to let ego go. And you have to take care of the people under you, even if they don't like you. You have to be concerned about their morale. It just comes with the territory. Or don't be a manager. Don't take on a leadership position if you're not going to be concerned about the people under you. And don't take on a leadership position if you don't have thick skin. And do not take on a leadership position if you're going to retaliate on people for speaking their mind. They have a right to speak their mind. They have a right to feel how they feel, and they do not have to like you. I understood that early on getting into management. They didn't people below me, they didn't have to like me, but I still had an obligation to treat them right. Understand that, Manuel Johnson. The command staff, chief and assistant chief, support their employees' input. 50.75% strongly disagree, 37% disagree. No man is, no has all of the answers. Effective leaders are the leaders that you around them. Your best and most potent tool that you can use to help you succeed in a management position are the people that are around you. Your best resource, that's the word I'm looking for. Your greatest resource are the people around you. Understand that. Your greatest resource are the people around you. You always support their input. Now, you don't have to accept it, you don't have to implement it, but you listen to it. You mold it around in that brain of yours. And you think that, okay, maybe they have better insight on this situation than me. Now, as the leader, it's your job to sift through the input and implement the input in a way that benefits everybody. But you should at least sit down and listen to them and consider it. The Tech City Police Department administration has worked to improve on issues over the past year. 53.73% strongly disagree, 23.88% disagree. So they're saying that the administration has not worked to improve on issues over the past year. What issues are they talking about? Perhaps y'all need someone on the outside, a new pair of eyes to look at these issues and, give consultation. I'm available for consultation. If anyone is seeing this, if the mayor is seeing this video, if the chief is seeing this video, if the assistant chief is seeing this video, if anyone is seeing this video, I'm available for consultation. Whether you believe it or not, I'm a very sharp individual. I'm very, very smart. I'm very, very astute. And I do know a lot about conflict resolution. And I know how to think through a problem with no ego to come up with a solution that bestly benefits everyone involved and restores anyone that has been wrong. See, when people have been wrong, you have to repair that wrong. You can't just speed past it like it never happened. Question 23. The Tech City Police Department administration maintains high standards for their actions and conduct. Do they have high standards? 50.75% strongly disagree, 20.90% disagree. You guys are seeing a pattern. Question 24. The Texas City Police Department administration cares about its employees' morale, safety, and health, mental or physical. Now, this is important, mental or physical, because again, these are the people that respond to the call when you call them in the middle of the night. 59.09% strongly disagree, 18.18% disagree. They don't think the administration cares about their mental or physical morale, safety, and health. They don't care about their mental health. They have weapons, lethal and non-lethal. And with some of the things that have erupted in this country over the past decade, we're not concerned about the mental health of police officers. We're not concerned about their physical safety, because we got to understand, listen, if it's you and a police officer face to face in the middle of the night and they feel physically threatened by you, they can kill you. We gotta just understand that we need our officers feeling safe, because if they don't feel safe and they feel threatened and they feel like some harm is about to be done unto them, us regular citizens can't win. Okay, I don't care how mad we get, we can't not win. Yeah, you can try to adjudicate things later, but if you in the grave, buddy, that means nothing to you. So we need to be proactive. We definitely need to care about the mental and physical health, safety, and morale of people who can legally murder us or kill us or end our existence, unalive us. That's concerning. I have confidence in the Tech City Police Department's administration to lead the department going forward. 58.21% strongly disagree, 16.42% disagree. Another question overwhelmingly in the negative. The Texas City Police Administration meets with the Texas City Police Department staff often to ensure they are actively involved and have an understanding of the issues within the organization. So they're not meeting to talk about these things. Look at this, 61.19% strongly disagree, 25.37% disagree. Look at that pie chart. Virtually nobody believes that the administration meets with the officers, the staff, often enough, and that they are actively involved and have an understanding of the issues within the organization. Question 27. The Tech City Police Department is adequately staffed for the needs of the community. We have an understaffed police department. Okay, we have an understaffed police department. They're saying that they need more. I'm on the fence with that. I don't know how many it is. I don't know how many officers you need for a particular population size. So no opinion on that. Let's just take the information for what it is. Question 28. The Tech City Police Department provides a safe working environment for officers on calls by providing backup officers on most cause. So we see that the strongly disagree and the disagree got slightly smaller on this question than the others. So you know, it looks like our officers have each other's backs, even amidst the turmoil. For the most part, they have each other's backs. Okay. The leadership at the Tech City Police Department is adequate. 56.72% strongly disagree, 19 disagree. Now remember, I want to bring you guys' mind back to this. They released this survey for one, to be transparent, but for two, because it was said that only a small handful of officers were complaining about Chief Cravens and Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson. Our group that was complaining only did so because they had internal affairs investigations against them. So they're showing that there is more officers than a small handful that have a problem. Okay, that's one of the major takeaways. The staffing at the Tech City Police Department is managed in the most advantageous way to better serve the community. 55.22% strongly disagree. 20.90% disagree. Again, we have about 76% that do not believe that the staffing of the department is managed in the most advantageous way to better serve the community. So we are the community. So the service that we are getting, wait, let me say this. If this survey is to be believed, let me be unbiased. If this survey is to be believed, then the Tech City citizens are not being served in the most advantageous way by the current staff of the Tech City Police Department because of how it's being managed. Remember, I told you guys earlier on, SHIT rolls downhill. What happens at the top affects the citizen at the bottom. That's not even a part of the Tech City Police Department. This goes to who you're calling in the middle of the night. We're not being served to our maximum efficiency. The Tech City Police Department makes recognizing staff for good work and performance a common and consistent practice. Now, I want you guys to look at this screen. Yes, we have to recognize staff for their good work and for their performance. I do agree with that. Recognition and reward is important. Recognition and reward is important. Question 32. The way that the Texas City Police Administration performs annual employee evaluations is fair and consistent. 58.21% strongly disagree. 16.42% disagree. So the annual employee evaluations is not fair and it is not consistent if this survey is to be believed. You make your own mind up if you want to believe these officers or not. Either they're telling the truth or this is a coordinated attack against Chief Cravens and Manuel Johnson and now Mayor Dedrick Johnson. Question 33. Patrol employees at the Tech City Police Department are all held to the same set of policies and rules as the administration level, sergeant and above. This sort of echoes a previous question, but we can see that some 79% of the employees, the Tech City Police Department officers who were surveyed, do not believe that they are held to the same set of policies and rules as the administration. Favoritism. Okay, favoritism, unfairness going on. This is what they believe. Question 34. The Texas City efficient process to recruit and hire new officers. Look at that information, but we're gonna move on. The department has discipline for all. This question echoes another one, but since you understand the color code by this point, you can see the pie chart. 36. The Texas City Police Department focuses on training above minimum standards. So we see training seems to be not really a big issue. Yeah, you have strongly disagree and you have disagree, but you have a strongly agree as well. So they are being trained. Okay, they are being trained above minimum standards. So that's a good thing. The trained personnel answering our call of the night. Communication up and down the chain of command is adequate. That pie chart 55.22% strongly disagree, 23.88% disagree. Again, overwhelming the pie chart. Breakdown in communication up and down the chain of command is not adequate. Question 38. I have full confidence in Chief to lead the future. This question echoes one that we already went over. So look at the pie chart and you get a good idea of how they responded. Question 39. My opinions and suggestions are valued and given fair consideration by the administration. Again, this question echoes one we already covered. Question 40. I feel comfortable speaking one-on-one with Chief Cravens and can trust him. Do they trust him? Again, this echoes a previous question, but you can see the pie chart. I feel comfortable with being able to speak plainly to the administration when it is asked of me without fear of retaliation. Apparently, we're seeing a pattern that these officers are saying that they are afraid that they will be retaliated on if they speak out. They fear that they will be retaliated on if they speak out. Now, one thing that I know, there's a lot of citizens who also feel as if they will be retaliated against if they speak out against corrupt officers. So we as citizens do understand this fear of retaliation. So there's some things that these officers may know that they haven't even told us yet for fear of retaliation. And that's why sometimes they'll reach out to people who can speak on their behalf, like the TMPA. I have no fear of retaliation from Chief Cravens for expressing my opinion or thoughts on any current issue or concern. Again, being an overwhelming fear of retaliation. I feel comfortable speaking one-on-one with my division captain and can trust that the Chief Cravens are the same that they have for Manuel Johnson. They don't trust him. They're not comfortable with him. Police Chief Cravens has made staffing decisions in the best interest of the line level employees. Question 45. I feel attend police associations without fear of retaliation from the administration. Again, more fears of retaliation. They're driving that home. They're driving that point home for us. They fear retaliation. Question 46. I feel that the department has given me adequate for me to perform my job. Overwhelmingly, they strongly agree. Texas City is one of the more financially stable cities in Galveston County. Texas City does have a lot of money, and they do pump a lot of money into the police department. And so the police department does have nice, right? We got to give them that. And so they are adequately equipped to perform the job. Okay. Question 47. I feel there are policies written or changed to target persons and or allow administration to target certain employees. Now, this is the first question we've seen with this type of a response, where the strongly agree and the agree overwhelm the strongly disagree and disagree. But why does it look like that? Is this a change in the opinion of the officer's question? Well, let's look at again at how the question or the survey question is stated. I feel there are policies written or changed target persons and or allow administration to target certain employees. So what they're agreeing with, they're really staying within the same vibe, But what they're agreeing with is that policies are written, created, or changed, manipulated to target people and allow the administration to target certain employees. Like, okay, it's something that you're doing. I'm going to create a policy about that to demonize what you're doing just so I can go after you. Or this policy is written a certain way. I'm going to write it in such a way as in to where you can no longer do that and get away with it. So they are manipulating the policies on the books so that they can target people if these officers are to be believed, which is scary because if an officer will change policies, write policies just to target people, I wonder if that officer ever fired a police. Have they ever lied under oath in court? Manipulate policy to target people. Will you manipulate, overlook policies to arrest people? The questions that we will be asking down the line. I feel that the administration follows its own policies and guidelines. You see the pie chart. We're gonna rush through the last of these. There's a few more. I've already had you for a while. Look, question 49. I feel like the administration is using discipline, unfounded or sustained, or internal affairs complaints as a means of control or being able to remove certain roles within the department. So again, we see a shift where the strongly agree dominate the pie chart, but this is because they're saying that they believe the administration is weaponizing internal affairs complaints. Remember, that was one of the things that the TMPA brought up. So now we see 61.19% strongly agree that they are weaponizing IA, and 16.42% agree that they are weaponizing IA being internal affairs, to target people, to control people, to remove certain roles within the department, snatch away rank. Now, is this conspiracy? If it's a conspiracy, the evidence and the facts. You can't just talk about it behind closed doors. You have to show us, show the public that this is an unfounded attack. Otherwise, this is the stand. Know that. Question 50. I feel targeted or singled out by the Texas City Police Administration for any reason. Question 51. The patrol division is adequately staffed. Now, the patrol division, again, is who answers your calls. Look at the strongly disagreeing and disagree. Those are the people that saying the patrol division, the ones that patrol the streets, is not adequately staffed. You make a phone call, they come 20 minutes too late. It may be too late for you. Question 52. The communication division is adequately staffed. Again, the majority of them strongly disagree and disagree. I feel supervisors are adequately supervised by their superiors. You guys can see their answers. Question 54. I feel the police administration is performing its duties as leaders, and it provides me with the support and ability to do my job safely and effectively. Question 55. I feel I can speak with my chain of command about my grievance type issue, and it will be taken care of at the sergeant level. Question 56. I feel safe in being able to use my contractual rights afforded to me by the collective bargaining agreement or the TCPD policy without fear of retaliation, demotion, or removal from positions without just cause. They're driving these points home. Question 57. I am currently happy with my work and role at the Texas City Police Department. Question 58. I want to be afforded the ability to finish my career at the Texas City Police Department. 74.63% strongly disagree. 13.43% agree. So the majority of our police officers, regardless of what's going on with the survey, see, most problems can be fixed. Problems have solutions. The overwhelming majority, 59% or 59 out of the 67 who were questioned, want to finish their career with the Texas City Police Department. They're just looking for changes if this survey is to be believed. So this issue can be resolved. There will be an issue. We just have to navigate through the minutia and figure out what that solution may be. Question 59. Texas City Police Department employees enjoy the support of the community. 41.79% strongly agree. 35.82% agree. Overwhelmingly, the members of the Texas City Police Department enjoy the support of the community. Enjoy a community that appreciates them and doesn't tear them down. And I, for one, support the Texas City Police Department. I do not support corruption on any level. On any level. I never have, never will, don't like it. And I'm not saying that if an individual who violates policies or if they corrupt, I'm not saying that there's no redemption for them. I'm saying that they must be held accountable. They must be held accountable before we can move forward, but we cannot gloss over corruption. We can't gloss over it. We can't speed past it. We got to deal with it head on. Accountability and transparency. And so for the Texas City Police Department employees, those officers that enjoy the support of the community, you will always have the support of the community when you are right. And if you are being mistreated for doing right, you will have the support of the community. You need to just continue doing what you're doing and hold us accountable and make cops better. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. And so that's the last question of the survey. So again, this was a survey taken by the Texas Municipal Police Association. Okay. Now, before I end this video, one more time, I'm going to show you the video where this survey was brought up at the city commissioners meeting. For those of you who didn't see it at the beginning of this video, you may have missed it.
Okay. Do y'all mind if I hand this out, or does that go on my time?
No, you can set it right there.
Say right here.
Is it something we need to have while you're discussing it?
It's the management survey.
You
Just
can-
as long as y'all get a copy.
No, you can keep it.
Keep it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can keep
All right. No problem.
Okay. Now, in all honesty, the mayor could have said that simply because he's already seen it. Okay. He may already know what it says. He may already have a copy of it. He may have already been briefed on it. I don't want to believe that the mayor said that because he did not care to see the survey. Because unfortunately, if he does not care to see the survey, then it will lend a lot of credibility to what they were saying in the survey. Although the survey was about Chief Craven and Manuel Johnson and the condition within the Texas City Police Department, specifically due to events that unfolded and got us to this point, they have now fused Mayor Dedrick Johnson in with the discussion. Okay, so yeah, they're saying that there's problems with the Texas City Police Department and with the government of Texas City, because again, in order for the chiefs to be fired, the mayor would have to fire him. The Texas City Police Department officer can't fire a chief of police. The TMPA cannot fire a chief of police. They cannot force that chief of police to resign. Who can fire a police chief? Well, the mayor. The mayor can fire a police chief. A mayor can force a police chief to resign and step down. That's why they are going to the mayor. He's like his boss. The mayor is like the chief's boss. Okay. So that's why it's almost like, although the mayor isn't a police officer, he's a link in the chain. Because when you're following the chain of command and you speak to an individual, if you don't get anywhere with that individual, you go to their superior. If you don't get anywhere with that individual, you go to their superior and you just work your way up. Well, the mayor here in Texas City is the top of the food chain. Okay, so when you start with the police department and you work your way up to the police chief. If you can't get through to the police chief, then higher than the police chief is the mayor. Now, in Texas City, there's really no one with more power than the mayor. Okay, understand that. The only way you can get a mayor out of office, if that mayor doesn't want to stand down, is you have to get someone to run against him, and that person who runs against him has to be elected by the people. Okay, or you can do a recall and try to get him recalled and get him forced to step down. But you have to take a political avenue to dethrone a mayor. But the mayor of Texas City has real power. Mayor Derrick Johnson has real power. That's why they're going to him. He has the power. He's the top of the pyramid. He's that, that Ben stone that's at the top of those pyramids in Egypt, or that was removed. He is that apex. He is that apex of the pyramid, which is why they're including him. He has to fire the chief if the chief will be fired. But he made it clear he's not. So we're just going over information. So that's the survey that they're talking about. I hope that gave you guys more information into what's going on in Texas City. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I know this was long, but sometimes it takes a while to disseminate information.